What's up, everyone? I'm Vincent Janito. I'm here with my good buddy, my pal, my co-pilot, Meghan Sullivan. Meghan, how you doing?
I am doing awesome. How are you doing?
I am amazing. I have just spent the last week or so playing 90 hours of this game.
Wow.
Dragon Age Inquisition.
90 hours.
90 hours is how many hours it took me to beat this game. For the purpose of this Let's Play, I don't want to spoil things for people who are about to or in the process of reading my written review right now. Folks, just so you know, we will have a full video review up in the next 24 to 48 hours, just some production things we had to finish there, and as I was trying to get the game completed, but we figured we'd throw up some footage of myself playing this fair game while Meghan asks me some questions about it. So we're just gonna jump into the first sandbox of the game, and we're just gonna mess around there. So there really aren't any spoilers here. The only spoiler here is that, hey, surprise! I beat the game, and you can still go and mess around in all the open world sandboxes in the game, which I think is pretty rad.
So it's 90 hours just to complete the game. So it's a super meaty game.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, me too. This is definitely BioWare's most straight up RPG. Probably since Knights of the Old Republic. I mean, also Dragon Age Origins, obviously. But for people who were wondering, because Dragon Age 1 was very RPG,
yes,
very old school PC RPG. Whereas Dragon Age 2 felt a little bit more like kind of an action-adventure game.
Right.
It
took a little bit of a left turn.
Yeah, it definitely did. And that was frustrating for me. Oh, this is great.
Took to collecting spiders after the jaunt through Adamant. Some people saw spiders in there. I thought they'd be useful.
Yeah, this is the great thing. This is actually where some of the best story stuff comes from. Is actually the character interactions here.
The party banter.
Yeah, it's just the party banter is just terrific. It's really good. It's really fun stuff.
All right, so who do you have in your party right now?
So right now in my party is my main character, who's named Lorenz. He's that little hand at the top. And then hi. And then I've got Sarah, who is a rogue. I've got Vivienne, who's a mage. I've got Iron Bull, who is a Kunari warrior. These are all party members that you may or may not get throughout the course of the game, depending on the things that you do. And the first thing you're gonna see here too is I love this new tactical map. Now, if you never played, you played Dragon Age 1, right?
Yes,
Meghan?
I played
Okay.
Dragon Age Origins.
So did you play it on console or did you play it on?
I played it on console, so I played on PlayStation 3 actually.
Oh, okay, you played it on console. So now I am not. To be clear, I am not Mr. PC Master Race.
Uh-huh.
But that said, I definitely felt that the PC version was the real version. And the reason I felt that is because it gave you the ability to kind of move out and do just like this, you could actually pause the game and view everything from top down, and there's actually a lot more creatures that you had to fight in Dragon Age 1. So you really had to exercise precise control over your party, really know your skills, manage crowds effectively. In Dragon Age 2, it was really very much like you just run around and you just...
It was very action RPG.
It was very actiony. You just kind of kill stuff, and you don't really have great control over your party, and you didn't really need to because you could kind of just power your way through stuff. That really disappointed me. Dragon Age 3 does a really excellent job of hybridizing those two feels. Like, it definitely has this meaty, heavy feel of an action game, but also the strongly tactical, kind of thoughtful combat that made, I thought, the first one so terrific.
Can we see this tactical combat in action?
Oh, absolutely.
Let's show the people.
I'm
going to
show people how tactical I can be by shooting an innocent ram to death.
Bits up, face down.
She is Sarah is
She's
kind
a
of
bit
the best.
sassy.
Oh, she's great. She is such fun. She really is. She is such fun. And I'm just one shot spoofing these guys because A, they're rams.
Right.
B, this is with keep in mind, folks, this is not necessarily representative of the actual challenge of the game. I have a full, I have a party of high level 18. We're all level 18s here. This ram might be about to have a bad day. No, he escaped the wrath. This little guy is definitely about to have a bad day.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow, just the hook killed him. Yeah, guys,
Oh,
I'm
man.
slaughtering innocent animals right now. It's fine. No, but there's actually a reason to do this. And that's the thing, is that in this game there's a reason to do pretty much everything. So killing these animals, I can get crafting materials off of them. And those crafting materials, not only can I craft with that stuff. Oh, he resisted that?
Oh,
No.
man.
Oh, no, sir.
He was not going to go down without a fight.
That ram didn't want to hear about my hook. Right now, they're not dropping anything, sadly. But yeah, these guys drop crafting materials, and these crafting materials can be used to customize your weapons. You can make custom grips and sheaths and things like that for your weapons, or you can use a lot of these reagents to create new potions, to upgrade your potions. Like I'll show you, folks. This is. Like I was saying before, this is really one of their more robust, real RPG style RPGs. It doesn't feel watered down or kind of dumbed down in the ways that other ones have in the past. So I can't craft my potions here, but I can equip different potions. And see these potions.
Jar of Bees.
Yeah, Jar of Bees is great. This one you actually have to do a side quest to unlock. It basically does damage over time and causes panic in the area of effect around it. But like all these potions have a whole list of upgrades that you can unlock for them to make them last longer, add new effects to them, and even all these potions, like there's still like at least another 10 or so or 15 more recipes that in 90 hours I never found. And even all these potions I've only partially upgraded them, like because I didn't really focus too much on alchemy. But yeah, if you want to spend a lot of your time just going around and looking at and picking up different reagents, and crafting different potions, it's an entirely like fully fleshed out system in the game.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's super amazing. And so we're in the hinterlands right now.
Yes, yeah, and this is the first sandbox that you get into, and like I want to point out that like I spent the better part of my first 20 hours of the game in this region. And like I've now spent 90 hours playing this game. There's still entire parts of this one map that I haven't seen. There's still quests for me to do. There's still like hash marks on the map that I haven't like
That's insane.
looked at yet. And this is probably my most explored region. Look, there's 3 quests waiting for me to the exclamation points are side quests. Like there's still 4 quests just sitting up here for me to do. I haven't seen too many games that have this this amount of raw content. It's pretty nuts. As you go through, you can unlock different camps in a region that allows you to fast travel between different points. So let's see what's down here. Shallow breaths.
A refugee at the crossroads is having trouble breathing.
Cool. Well,
That doesn't sound good.
yeah, let me just fast travel down here, and I'll check that out. But yeah, what really blows my mind is how in depth every system is. Like the crafting in this game is some of the deepest that I've seen in an RPG, because not only can you craft weapons from scratch,
Inquisitor.
but you can, aside from being able to craft stuff from scratch, you can also individually craft all the mods for it. So like you can craft a new sword, but you can also craft a new haft for it, or a pommel. Same thing with bows, and same thing with your armor. Like you can get armor, you can craft a piece of armor and then design the legs
What do your women
or
like?
design the arms.
So you actually design what your weapons and armor looks like.
Yeah, what they
Literally
look like.
right down to the hilt.
Yeah, what they look like, and also like what their stats are. Like
I mean, are they like you?
there's like 4 different tiers of.
Shit, yeah.
I love the banter in BioWare games. It's
Yeah.
so good.
And honestly, the banter is really important in this game, actually, because one of the things that I did criticize the game for is that, at least initially, a lot of these characters feel kind of distant, kind of wooden. They don't feel like I think in a lot of BioWare games, like Mass Effect does a really good job of this. They give you like every character has kind of like an initial there's a little thread hanging out from them, like a narrative thread, like something about them that makes them seem a little bit different, that makes you go like, oh, I want to learn more about you. But a lot of the characters in Inquisition initially seem kind of standard and stale, and you're kind of like, like, why are you interesting? Why would I care about you?
Does that change at all?
It does change. Like as you like, it starts with the character banter in the combat, and then you start to kind of hear more about them, learn more about them. Some of the most interesting things you learn about them is through this banter, and then eventually, you go, oh, okay, well, maybe they're a little bit cooler or more interesting than I thought they were. I'll go, I'll go do some of their side missions, and then they, and then they really, really, really open up. So, I love the hinterlands. It's beautiful. I wanted to mostly try to stick here in the hinterlands because I didn't want to spoil other regions really for people. But the sad truth is that I've cleared a lot of what's in the hinterlands. So I actually do want to skip over to another area that maybe I haven't done as much, and that's got a little bit more action because I want people to really be able to see how great the combat is. So I'm going to go over to the Follow Mire, which is a kind of undead-themed area. And let's see, do I have any camps beyond the initial one to jump to?
Fisher's End Camp.
This is a
Old Thoroughfare Camp.
Yeah, I think this is a good camp to go to.
All right. So let's take a look at this. And we get to see another map, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and you'll see, like, so the thing is that, so BioWare, they've been calling this an open world game, and that's true and it isn't. Like, in a sense, like, you just saw that one sandbox I was in, and you get a sense for the scale. It's massive. I mean, that map is huge. There's still parts of it I haven't seen after playing around in it for many, many hours. But there is no way to, like, just walk directly from this place to the next. And that sounds like it's a cop-out. Like, oh, well, then it's not really a full, like,
open world RPG.
Right. But what it does allow is, I mean, since they don't have to come up with kind of, like, logical transitions from one area to the next,
right,
you can get a really good diversity. Like, this area now looks completely different from...
It does. It looks rainy. It looks gloomy.
Yeah. And, God, does it look beautiful gloomy.
It does.
The lighting throughout is really, really something in this game, and that's what's funny too about this game is that I think visually it's pretty gorgeous. I think it's the best looking game that BioWare has made,
hands down. I actually agree with that.
But at the same time, what's funny about it is that I also think the interface just looks kind of like chintzy and not that great by comparison. Okay, we've got
some action.
Yep. So I'm going to throw up a barrier on my... going to have my main guy throw up a barrier on us. And then I'm just going to... I'm going to have my my archer type just lace into this other archer. And then I'm going to just rush on in there with Iron Bull.
And I noticed that you can switch between party members. You're
absolutely.
not forced to just play as your Inquisitor.
No, that's correct. Like I can play as a whole as anyone I want at any time, basically. Pull this guy in, bow, kick him to the ground, crush the skull in. So that little spectral dude right there is there's necromancy in this game.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's one of your characters will get it as an extra skill tree. That's something that else about the game is that I think the skill system is terrific, but initially it looks and feels like it's going to be very simple skill wise because you're like, hey, what's the difference between Warrior 1 and Warrior 2? Like
right.
they have all the same skill trees that I can pick from. So why would I? What's the difference between?
Well, what is the difference between Warrior 1 and Warrior 2?
And that's just the thing is that like really in order for you to feel that. You kind of need to unlock their specialty tree, and it's not really evident that that's even a thing early in the game, which is kind of a problem I have. Is like because you can respec as well, which is great because you're gonna need to because you'll probably play the game thinking that you're stuck with what you've got because the way you respec is kind of hidden. It's another one of the smaller problems, little issues the game has that just a lot of its little nuances it doesn't necessarily convey in a super convenient way.
It doesn't explain in a tutorial.
Yeah,
or
it doesn't.
anything?
It explains some stuff, but definitely not nearly enough. But yeah, you can totally respec in this game, and you're gonna want to, because about halfway through the game, suddenly you're gonna find that you've got a whole new skill tree to work with that you didn't know about before, and you'll be like, "Hey, I wish I hadn't spent all these points." But you'll be able to. But once those character specific skill trees open up, you'll find that like every character feels so much more unique from one another. There's so much more diversity in their styles. Like for instance, Iron Bull, his style is Reaver, and basically you can see like I have really low health with him right now.
Right.
But I'm kind of not taking a health potion, and there's a reason for that, because like a lot of his moves, the lower he is on health, the more damage he actually does.
So there's some strategy involved.
Oh, absolutely.
But can you modify his armor and stuff like that to make sure that his HP stays up, or that he's less vulnerable to magic?
Oh, sure. So for instance, I don't know if I have it on him right now. Ooh, a bogfisher? I kind of want to fight this.
What is it? It doesn't look like a fish.
It's a big... I know, right? It's not fish-like in any way, shape, or form.
Not at all.
No, but so actually, let me go to the inventory screen, and I can show you a little bit about the gear. So
they should call that thing mole pig. 'Cause that's what it looks like. It does not look like a bogfish.
Everything in this game looks like it looks either like a pig or a bunny. I've noticed all the this is the rams, but everything else just looks kind of like a weird,
like a killer bunny,
like a bunny mole hybrid. So for instance, let's take a look at this. So this particular weapon has only an empty rune slot, but like so. All right, so yeah, you look at this weapon, Render's Blade. This is a unique. So it's got a grip slot, it's got a pommel slot, and it's got a rune slot. And you can see 10% chance to apply Walking Bomb for 5 seconds. Walking Bomb is actually a necromancer skill, but you can have a warrior equip this weapon, and every time they attack, there's a 10% chance that they'll just cast Walking Bomb on their target.
That's amazing. So necromancy is not specific to just mages.
Sure, I mean, like, if you want to practice that actual... type of magic, then yeah, you need to be a mage. But the point is that you can find and craft weapons that will have a chance to proc all different kinds of skills and kind of augment what your character does. So, for instance, I don't think I have the appropriate weapon here, but what I used to have on Iron Bull is I used to have a great axe that with every hit it would generate armor. Like right now, this bogfisher is armored. You see that silver on its life bar?
Right.
That means I have to get through that armor before I can actually damage it. And we can get that too. I had an axe that would generate that for Iron Bull, so that he would always have that buffer even when he was low on health. But another way to solve that problem, though, is mages have a skill called Barrier, and that basically creates kind of a blue energy shield for the character. And that basically absorbs any and all damage while it lasts. So I'll let Iron Bull get really low, and then I'll cast the barrier, and then he's got kind of a buffer zone, and then we can just kind of go to town.
Well, he's certainly going to town.
Yeah, he does a lot of damage. He's got like once you get far down in his Reaver skill set, He's got attacks that take away his own life with every swing, but that only benefits him because the closer to death he gets, the more powerful all his attacks become. And then he's got another attack that actually replenishes a portion of his life. So you really want to play on the edge of survivability with him. That's kind of how he works. Now, on the other hand, Vivienne is kind of a battle mage. She has a skill that gives her a melee attack, and a powerful one too. Vivienne, pro tip for anyone watching right now who wants a little bit of gameplay help, like if you really want to power through this game and you want to make a lot of the major battles in this game a lot easier for yourself, like definitely take some time with Vivienne, because her unique skill path allows her to basically not only become a melee force to be reckoned with, but make it so that her melee strikes actually, you see, I'm generating barrier on her by damaging things, by striking things.
Did she teleport earlier? Did
Yeah,
I watch her teleport?
and I just did it again, yeah.
That is awesome.
So it allows her to get into combat very quickly. And then I have another skill on her that allows her to just phase out of reality.
Wow.
So she can actually do that, and then if she appears, if I stand like
She's
right,
a one-woman army.
she is a one-woman army. I kind of face tanked dragons with her. Yeah, if I can stand inside this guy, when I come back out of that Fade Rift, I do like tons of damage and knock the person down. But I don't want to give away too much about how the combat works in this game or how everything in this game works. We just wanted to give people a rundown of, what it looks like, some of the things that I like, some of the things that I don't like. But if you're reading my review right now, you see that I'm pretty darn happy with this game, excepting maybe the last. Excepting maybe the first Dragon Age. I feel like this is, and that's a big maybe, honestly. This is, I think, kind of the purest, most detailed, deepest RPG that BioWare has made in a long time. And that's, with nothing but love for Mass Effect, I say that with. But Mass Effect has always, especially since 2, felt like a little bit more of like a shooter with some RPG stuff on the side. If you want kind of an in-depth stat, gear, and skill system and an expansive world to really explore and get lost in, this is going to do it for you more than I think anything that BioWare has made in a long, long time.
It does seem like a lot of people, their one issue with Mass Effect was it was starting to get away from the role-playing element.
Sure, absolutely.
And it sounds like this game really brings it back, and it's sort of like BioWare is going back to what they know, what they do best, which is real role-playing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope just commercially, I do hope the game does well, because I do want BioWare to see that there is a case for continuing to make RPGs like this. And you can have your cake and eat it too. It's a real RPG, but it also definitely has these action-y elements that just make the combat feel visceral and fun and immediate. So it doesn't have to be one or the other. It doesn't have to have brains or brawn. It can have both. And I hope that they see that now and they continue along this path, because I certainly want to play many more hours of this, even though I've already put 90 hours into it. I want to play many more hours of this, but I also want to continue to see games like this, new games like this being made. So hopefully that'll be the case. But Megan, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for letting me in on this. I've loved watching you play.
Oh, it's a pleasure. And for more on Dragon Age Inquisition throughout the week and next week when it releases, keep it locked right here to IGN.
Bye-bye.